We are Oral History 2011.
Here are the stories of the struggles and experiences of immigrants who came to America looking for a better life.
From all over the world, people come to America bringing memories from their home country.
Immigrants were drawn for all different reasons from their home countries.
Some were forced, some were running, and others were chasing the American dream.
So some childhood memories that I have of my native country is, well, Nepal is one of the poorest countries in the world, but I don't really have any notions of it being poor because I really remember it to be really beautiful. I remember playing with the factory kids that my uncle, he owned a carpet factory and it was right next to my cousin's house. So when I used to sleep over at my cousin's house, we always used to play with the factory kids. I never really thought about how they used to actually work for us. Like most of the kids there, they didn't really go to school either. I didn't really think about how the huge wealth gap either in Nepal, like with that huge mansion and then people living in extreme poverty. Like the factory people, there was a really bathroom area. It was really smelly, I guess. It was around 3 bathrooms for 50 people. The houses also, there were usually families of 4 living in one-room houses. When me and the factory kids, we used to play around, we always used to pass those houses. Aside from being in Nepal, I lived there for 3 months each year, and then I went to boarding school for 9 months each year. I went to boarding school in Darjeeling, India. It's close by Nepal, it's near the Nepali border, Nepal and India border, but it's still India. I went to an English boarding school called Mount Hermon School, where we were forced to speak English. If we spoke any other language, we would be beaten by rulers. So yes, there was corporal punishment there. It was sort of like Hogwarts, where each had school colors. So, you know how there's like Gryffindor and Hufflepuffs and all that? We had Dewey, Fisher, Knoll, Stahl. Each of them had a different color. I was part of Stahl, which had a red color. This fostered, I guess, competition in the school and like school spirit. So that was fun. I stayed in the boarding school until July and August, and I think around August I got the phone call. There was a phone call to the matron from my dad, and then the matron called me in. I went near the window and then I talked to my dad, and then he told me that I had gotten my visa, and then we would be going to see my mom, we would be going to see my mom in America. My mom left Nepal when I was 3, so then she was, and then I was in India until 5th grade, so until when I was 10. So it was 7 years since I had seen her. And then I don't know if I was excited or not. I guess I was happy that I would be seeing my mom. Then I think I was sad a little bit that I would be leaving my whole life behind, you know, in India and in Nepal. So I went back to the dorm and then I quietly climbed up the bunk bed and then I whispered to my friend that I got my visa. And then I guess it got around the whole dorm that I was going to America.
Well, World War II is why we ended up here. Stalin chased us from Russia. The Germans took us, you know, eventually we would have been like their servants or hired helper, you know, whatever they had in mind for us, who knows, death probably. So yes, World War II changed my life.
在当时我出国的时候是27岁，那么在中国的时候27岁，当时没有结婚，没有对象，这在那个时候已经算大女，就是说当时都在单位里都是要帮你找对象啊，或者是把你归到一种什么大男大女的俱乐部啊，就是说你当时就觉得你不能够生活的和别人不一样，就是说大家在中国当时呢，到什么时候做什么事情都是就是有一定的规律的。你如果到那个时候到结婚的年龄你还没结婚，那么你就是处境就非常难。所以呢， 那当时周围的家里的压力啊，或者单位同事的那什么，让你觉得很不舒服。原因就是说，中国当时我出来的时候，88年，不是84年，88年。那么中国那时候还很封闭，大家都不知道外边是什么样子。那么后来呢，年轻人都想出去看一看外边到底是什么样子，所以当时选择出来是一件很苦的事情，因为在中国当时的经济来讲，和国外的经济差距很多，每个人都是要出来上学呀、读书啊，都要自费，就是自己一边打工一边上学，所以是很苦的一件事情。但是呢，因为很年轻，就是说很向往新的地方，所以呢就不在乎那种很苦的事情。既然是苦，也要出去，所以就这几个。
For these newcomers, America was a strange yet inspiring land.
Though they encountered many hardships, they were exposed to new experiences and new opportunities.
So, when I came to the USA, I guess it was tough trying to fit in. It wasn't I didn't have any language barrier because I didn't have any accent and I knew how to speak English fluently. So, when I went my first day in school in 5th grade, the teacher asked me, she just pulled me aside and she was like, so why don't you have an accent, right? Because since I came from India, she assumed that I would have an Indian accent. But, yeah. My favorite moment here would be when I first saw my mom when I came here. Since I was seeing her 7 years later, I only saw her in pictures, so yeah.
At that time, there were very few immigrants anywhere. On the first day of school, since we were brought over by a wealthy family who had a furniture store in Houston, Texas, we were brought here as a family to run their farm outside of Houston. It was a large farm. They paid us $25 a month. It was my mother, my father, and 3 children. My brother died in the DP camps. On the first day of school, we spoke the language we had always spoken our entire lives, Estonian, and that was the last time we spoke it in public for many, many years because the children teased us mercilessly and made fun of us and called us Donald Duck and all that. But it's nothing like now. Anywhere you go, you'll find immigrants from wherever, almost everywhere in this country. But at that time, there were very few, and unfortunately, we didn't happen to find a place near others who spoke our language. But in any case, that's the only language we ever spoke at home. We never spoke English at home. So we lived in rooms with 12 other families. I mean, how did it change? And we came and basically were like servants for this family. And my father was killed in an automobile accident 2 years after we came here, so thereafter my mother took care of the 3 of us, and to this day I don't know how she did it. She worked every job imaginable and for very little money. One job was cleaning bars on Saturdays for 25 cents. She worked in canning factories, all sorts of menial physical labor jobs, and she had come from a well-to-do family.
你说话的时候你有口音，那你就觉得或者人家听不懂你说话的时候，那你就马上就觉得这不是我的国家。如果是我的国家的话，那我会很自由的，就是说不会有那种眼光。我在美国的话，我觉得每个人你想上大学，你都可以进一个大学，但是在我们的时代，在上大学，在中国受教育的话，那就是说基本上很多人都没有机会的。那 像我们考大学的时候是2%-3%，考试的人的2%-3%才能进入大学。那么你想一想，其他还有很多很多没有机会参加考试。
The economic in Korea was so hard back then, so it was hard to find a job, and even though you find a job, the wages are like really low, so it was difficult for my mom to like earn money and like keep up the family, like help the family out. But after she came here, the economic was so much better than Korea, so she can get to earn more money and save more money and like actually use that money for family, so we decided to stay here. I came here, America, it doesn't matter how you dress and everything, so I thought that place like was different and like that's, yeah, I thought all students have to have like short hair, like no jewelry in school, like act like dress up properly, but here in middle school I saw like people dress up like really different from Korean students, so that yeah, I was happy actually. I can free more.
Because the two culture is totally different. One is conservative, like Chinese tradition is very conservative. The American culture is very openly. Like maybe because of the people from different countries around the world. So, but American society is more openly. People yell at each other, or people kissing each other on the street. People dress the way very, even some look nice, some look disgusting. But the Chinese culture is different, very conservative. Keep yourself. That's the difference. Some not totally. Some of them is I just like the borderline. Some of them I adopted. Some of them I keep the conservative way. Like education, the more I respect it in America is education. They give the kids every chance to have a good, high and good education, and job opportunity. But I still keep the old way, conservative way in Chinese tradition. We take care of each other. For the elderly, we live together. We respect each other. We care for elderly, for parents.
It wasn't actually bad because like I had a stepsister already living in US, so she kind of helped me out throughout my entire year, especially the first day. Like, thankfully she like dragged me to her lunch table and made me sit with her friends, and like she translated everything for me. Yeah, it was fine.
That's awesome. So was she like one of the most important people in helping you like get used to being here?
She is, and she still is.
She is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, when I first moved here, I was living in a town called Baldwin, where...
Oh, Wilson lived there. But okay, continue.
Where like, there was no Asians. Literally no Asian. It was all white people, black people, Hispanic people, and like no one else spoke Korean, which is my native language, and that was very terrifying, I guess. Like, I never seen so many people speaking different language that I couldn't even understand.
All in all, each immigrant has a varying opinion on their lives in America in comparison with their lives in their home countries. Some are regretful, Others are satisfied, while others remain to be ambivalent.
The regrets I have coming here, I know that I'm getting a better education here, but I feel like I would have been able to get the same education here that my cousins are getting over there. I feel like they're much more luckier than me, even though I came here, because they still have the whole experience there, being in Nepal and India. Since they're going to an international boarding school in India, my cousin just took the AP Chem exam, and she also took the SAT. And she gets the same chances that I get here. I know that I'll be able to get financial aid here, but I don't think that was really worth it, like giving up all the time in India and Nepal. I really miss it over there. I mean, if I had a choice when I was in 5th grade, I think I would have stayed in India. I really feel that I've become American in terms of my views and everything. When I came here, I had no idea what racism was, sexism was. I had no clue that there were even gay people in the world. So when I came to America, I got exposed to a lot of things, and now I understand most of it, and I am really tolerant, I guess. So I feel like I'm one with the American mindset, I guess. If I went back to Nepal, their thinking is really close-minded, I guess, because they're still a third world country, they're still developing. Most of them don't have education. So, yeah, I really do think I belong in America.
I have never felt like I belong here. I still feel like I don't have a home anywhere, really. And maybe that's because I don't really have any family. I just have a sister. A lot of the immigrant communities that you go into these days are, huge families come together. I mean, we have no one, and like no roots, no hometown to go back to, sort of. You know what I mean?
还是好的。不是对我自己，是对我觉得对下一代、对孩子们是一个好的选择。
I hope you all learn as much as we did about the immigrant experience from each and every unique story.
Thanks for watching! Yo, you're the driver.
To do something. Come on, Kevin.
Right.
I hop on the plane at LAX with a dream, my cardigan. Welcome to the land of fame and sex. Am I gonna fit in? Jumped in the cab, here I am for the first time. Look to my right, I see the Hollywood sign. This is just so great.
I'm a hacker.
Everybody seems so kind.
I'm so tall.
Look at us awkwardly. It's like a scene coming like, oh yeah!